This video is definitely not for everybody. I know communicating messages sometimes can be a little difficult, especially when you feel like you've got a specific audience. But I want to tell you about a story, something that happened to me the other day, and hopefully I don't think I'm the only one who's gone through this, but you never know. Anyway, the other day I was at work and I had to go to the bathroom. If it's TMI for you, I'm sorry, but I had to go to the bathroom. And for whatever reason, stuff happening that day, I had kind of pushed off needing to go for a while and just kind of just held it and just did what I needed to do. And then it finally got to a point where it was like, okay, so I need to go. And I get back to the bathroom, and we have two separate bathrooms at work. And I went to the men's bathroom, and I was about to knock on the door when I heard a sound. And the way our hallway set up, it sounded like there was somebody already in that bathroom. And I don't know if you've ever had that feeling, that sinking feeling of, oh wow, this is not a great time for this. What am I going to do? In your head, you're like, okay, so maybe I can go do a couple things to kind of keep my mind off of it and then come back. But then there was this other feeling that I had, that I almost didn't knock. I almost didn't knock on the door. I almost just took the fact that I heard sound coming from what I thought was inside the bathroom to mean that the bathroom was occupied. And since it was occupied, I was just going to assume if it's occupied, obviously you can't go in there when obviously we have one stall. So I was just like, okay, so I'll step away, and then whenever they're done, I'll come back. I knocked, and to my relief, no one was in there. So I go in the bathroom, and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I hear from the other bathroom across the hall, the door open and someone leave. I realized that what I had heard was someone else in a different bathroom, but it sounded like it was in the one that I was trying to get into. And it was in that moment that I felt very, very challenged, I'll say by God, to really look at my life and look at how I've been doing things. I didn't realize till probably, I would say probably 6 months ago or so that I deal with apprehension and fear in a different way. And it all depends on the situation that I'm in. Certain situations I will plow ahead. It doesn't matter what's going on around me. It doesn't matter what's happening. I will just plow straight ahead. And then in other situations, it seems like I will hesitate to do what needs to happen, or hesitate to do something that would take care of what I need to take care of because of apprehension and fear. And I realized that for me, I had to start unpacking. It was kind of this moment of really looking at me and going, okay, so why am I this way? And to be honest with you, I honestly couldn't tell you. I still haven't figured out why or where this started or how it happened that I started to pull back from things that I knew I wanted to pursue, or things that I wanted to do, or things that would be helpful for me, and hide and pull back and go, you know what, I will inconvenience myself even if there's nothing to fear, even if there's nothing to be apprehensive about, even if there's nothing to worry about. I will inconvenience myself because it's more comfortable to inconvenience myself, not realizing, or realizing, depending on how you look at it, that it really wasn't more comfortable. It really wasn't more comfortable. It actually put me in positions where if I had done what I was trying to do or what I felt to do, it would have put me in a better position in life, or put me in a better position at work, or put me in a better position with my relationship with my wife, or whatever it is. If I had acted versus backing up, the response would have been way different. And I've found myself doing that in things, as someone who has ideas and thoughts and things that I want to do and create and become. I find myself kind of leaning that way, and that's kind of who I want to talk to today, is just those who you have things that you want to do and you feel like there's this fear in the opportunity. There's this fear or apprehension to pursue something, to do something. My wife and I have talked about this a couple times, but there's this thing that when there's an opportunity is presented and it could be good, whether it's the work or whatever, it's not, and I think anybody who knows me could tell you that I'm not afraid of work. I'm not afraid to put in hard work. But there are times where an opportunity presents itself and I will almost forego the opportunity to do something because I don't know. And that's kind of who I want to talk to today. Like, there's these moments and it's like, I don't know why I didn't say yes. I don't know why. I just felt this thing inside, this pullback inside, this reluctance inside to step out and to do something. And I know for some people who know me, they're going to be like, Jonathan, that's not you, but that is me on the inside. That is who I am a lot of times on the inside. It's like, hey, there's this opportunity to do something and not showcase your talents, but use your talents to do something greater, to do something better. And it's like, this holdback, this pullback. And what I'm starting to realize is I see things and maybe I'm looking at it, and part of it might be that I think the room's already occupied. I think that space is already occupied. I think, well, look, this person's doing something that looks very similar to what I feel like I'm been called to do or what I want to do. And because they've done it already, how can I step out and now do it because that space is occupied? And what I'm starting to realize and come to understand is that the room itself is not occupied. That space isn't occupied because I'm not in it. Yes, there are people who are doing things that are incredible. There are people who are doing things that are amazing. I've got friends and people that I grew up with and know that are doing some amazing things. But that's not what I was called to do. That's not my space. That's not where I was meant to grow. So I have to look at the things and the ideas that God has been giving to me and begin to really work on making those things a reality. Making sure that I'm spending the time doing those things that I've been called to do. Putting in the work, putting in the time to study. A verse that came to mind is Matthew chapter 7, where Jesus is talking, and he says, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open to you. It's that knocking piece. It's the apprehension of actually knocking on a door. For a small period of time, I sold insurance. I say sold loosely, very loosely. But there's a small period of time in my life where I worked for an insurance company. I won't say it was a pyramid scheme. I will say, though, things that were promised didn't come to being. But with that being said, I still had an opportunity to do things. The thing that I found myself doing was running from rejection, running from someone saying no. And in my head, it felt easier to not be rejected than to potentially come across a yes. And I failed at that. Like, it was something that I failed hard at. Like, it was bad. Life changed after that point for me. Things kind of went in a direction that I didn't foresee them going and had not planned on them going, and they just shifted. But it stemmed from the fact that I was very hesitant to hear a no come from someone's mouth. And in part, I think maybe that's why I hesitate to knock on the doors of certain opportunities. And maybe that's why I sit and I look and I go, I don't know that I can do that, or I should do that, because if I do it, I could mess it up. I could screw it up. And that's kind of the people I want to encourage today. Is I'm there with you. I'm understanding what it feels like to look at something that you think will give you a better life, a better way of helping people, a better quality for your children down the road, and look at it and almost feel like it's better off for you to not pursue it because where you're at least you're making it work. Don't just make it work. I said it earlier, but that room, that space that maybe you feel like someone else is taking up or someone else is in, it's not occupied because you're not in it. I've never heard someone say, there's so many doctors in the world, I'm not going to become one. I've never heard anyone say, there's so many teachers in the world, there's no way that I should become a teacher. I've never heard anyone say that, that there are too many chefs and cooks in the world, and so therefore I know I love to cook, but there's just so many chefs and cooks, there's no way that I could become a chef or a cook. There are certain spaces, and in our head we automatically know, even though that there are literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in that vein, that there's still room for more people to come into that spot. And it's the same way with whatever it is that you feel that you're supposed to pursue, whether it's writing a book, whether it's, becoming a teacher, whatever it is, you're looking at it and going, hey, I feel like that market's oversaturated. But if you feel that that's where you're supposed to be at, then knock on the door. Because all the sounds that you're hearing may not be anyone inside the room. It might be someone in the room next to it or the room behind you. And while you're sitting outside the door wondering, well, I feel like it sounds like this room's already occupied, opportunities are going by. And so I've taken it upon myself this year, and I started a little bit last year, to actually do some things that I was apprehensive about. Started a clothing company, and there it is. Started a clothing company last year. Writing a book, in the process of having the second edit done right now, and then working on some stuff that, Lord willing, will eventually hit Kickstarter, and we'll see where it goes. But I'm realizing that if I push the idea, the opportunity to the side, that eventually ideas and opportunities stop coming. And in life, if I'm 75 looking back at my life and frustrated because it's not where I wanted it to be, I didn't reach the people I felt like I needed to reach, I didn't address the situations that I felt like I was called to address, if I am looking back at my life and seeing that's going to be nobody's fault but my own. And so I just want to encourage you, if you are in that spot, if you're in that space where you feel like you're apprehensive, you feel like there's not really a spot for you, or you feel like that you can't really take advantage of what's in front of you, I want to encourage you to do it. Knock on the door. See if there's anybody in the room. Overcome that fear. And it's not just overcoming by saying I'm not going to be afraid, but I'm realizing that it's in spite of feeling like I might inconvenience someone else, right? In spite of feeling like I might be a dud. For those who don't know what a dud is, it's a bomb or a grenade that you throw and it doesn't actually do anything. Not because it's not able to, it just doesn't function. And sometimes maybe you feel like that's what you're going to be, but just to remind you, if God's put something inside of you, if God's given you an idea, if God's given you a passion to pursue, then pursue it and do it. I'm in that journey. I'm not coming from the top of the stairs saying to you, hey, I'm there, you can do it. I've seen people who are there, and I've seen people who are doing it. I'm at the bottom of the stairs right now, getting there, getting my mind to the place where I can bypass all of that. So just again, I just want to encourage you. Hopefully this helps you. Hopefully this, again, this video wasn't for everybody. If you're a type A personality, rah, 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 run through the wall and everybody in front of the wall, this is not for you. But for that person who you want to do great things, but you aren't sure how to make it happen, or you're apprehensive, I hope this encourages you and lets you know that you're not by yourself. You're not alone. Even making this video this morning, I almost didn't, because I don't know why, but I didn't almost. But here it is. So, unedited, unbeautiful. There aren't a bunch of pretty lights. It's not a crazy background. But I just wanted to make sure that what I felt to share, I was able to share. Hopefully I'll talk to y'all again. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I plan on making a bunch of more videos, but I just wanted to share this. I'll talk to y'all later.